What's up, everybody? It's Boy Watley, coming to you live from my man cave, aka the Heat House. This is video number 4 in my Clipper education series. This last video, I'm gonna just kind of rant on the different clippers and trimmers. The number one thing I want everyone to know is that all 3 manufacturers of clippers and trimmers, that be Wahl, Oster, and Andis, all have a habit of creating the same product and changing various parts of it, calling it something different, and marketing it different to appease different audiences. So, for example, when I say that, I mean take the Andis T Outliner 2. It's essentially the same exact motor, the same exact trimmer, but all they do is change the blade from either a T blade or a square blade. This is what's known as a square blade because it's a square, of course, and this is a T. So what Andis would do is they'll sell you one with the T blade and one with a square blade and say, okay, this is the Outliner 2 and this is the T Outliner. It's the same trimmer, just with a different blade. And depending on where you go, you might actually pay a different price for either or. And it's not just Andis that does this. Like I said, all major manufacturers do the same thing. Whereas, for example, this Wahl detailer, you get it in a variety of different colors, and with the different colors comes a different blade. Some of them have adjustable blades, some of them have stationary blades. And by adjustable, I don't mean as in with a lever. I mean as in you could take the blade off, unscrew it, readjust the levels of the teeth. Also, I know that Andis as well is very big on doing that with their clippers. For example, I have my improved masters here with the standard blade. Now, Andis has a variety of blades for this very same machine. And they have the fade blade, which is a blade similar to this, but it's a surgical blade, which means it's a lot thinner. And that's mainly used for removing lines out of fades. And they also have the Fat Master. This is not a Fat Master. This is actually an Originals Andis Master. This is an old school clippers, older than I am. But I just fitted a fat blade on it. And essentially, this is more for the use of fading and removing lines out of blowouts and temple fades. So, once again, the manufacturers will put a different blade or a different name on a product, but sell you the same thing essentially, because the motors and the insides are all the same. It's just the blade that's different, and you might pay a different price for it. For example, if you buy a Fat Master, because the blade has more weight on it and it takes out a higher level of hair, you're going to pay extra for that. Now when it comes to Wahl, for example, you have your Wahl Seniors, and this is a Wahl Magic Clip. Now, I'm going to tell you, I paid, I believe it was, I'll say about 40 bucks for this. And this here goes for about 60 to 80 bucks, depending on where you buy it from. Once again, the only difference in these two clippers is that the housing is different. Same blade, different housing. The Magic Clip is a plastic housing, so therefore you're paying less because it's plastic, whereas this Senior has a metal housing, so you're paying a premium just for the metal housing. So you could buy each of these clippers, get the same exact haircuts, but because one is metal and one is plastic, you're going to pay that premium for the metal. Now, as a professional barber, for example, you would pay the extra money for the metal housing because if you drop this, it can crack, it can break. Whereas you drop this, you have a lot better chance of your clipper surviving that drop. One of the biggest debates I've heard about has been the debate between I'd say the importance of having the Oster 76 to cut hair as opposed to a adjustable clipper or any other detachable blade clipper. Once again, the Oster 76 is a detachable blade clipper. So that means to cut hair, you would have to have the blade that you need. For example, I have a 1.5 blade. Now, if I'm just doing the 1.5 all over, this is fine. But if I would like to do a 1.5 on the top and a 1 on the sides, I would have to use my 1.5 and followed by my 1 for the sides. Whereas for an adjustable level clipper, if I want a 1.5, all I would do is put on my 1 guard, cut, and to do my 1, take off the guard. Now I have a 1. So it's a little easier if you have the adjustable level clipper as opposed to the rotary detachable blade clipper. Now, I'm going to be honest. These are mainly used for bulk cutting, but they're very good at what they do. You put a blade on here and you go across, you're going to use less strokes to get rid of the hair. And another debate, like I said, that I've heard is the Oster 76 is better than Andis BGR series clippers. Now, I've used both, so I can make an educated decision on which one is better, or correction, a more informed decision. I'm going to be honest, it's about the same to me, but like I said, you're going to pay a little bit more for the 76 as opposed to the BGR series. And to be quite frank with everybody, the cost of ownership is slightly higher for the 76. The reason is because you're going to have to oil and lube the inner workings of the clipper, as well as change the bushings on the side here and there. Now, if you're doing self-cutting, do not buy this because granted, you will be able to give yourself a nice cut, but for example, if you want to fade the sides or something, you'll need more blades. And quite frankly, that's a lot of money to spend on one tool. Like I said, I'm trying to be a professional, so therefore I could afford that because I'll get that money back. But for someone who's just using it for at-home cutting, I would suggest the adjustable clippers. That'll conclude this part because I don't want the video to run too long. I'm going to do one more video basically wrapping everything up. Thank you.